All right, folks. Here we have a review based on me trying to duplicate some successes in China, but with a different outfit than Yvonne. They provided me the 8x42 that you see here. It's actually quite good. I just recently had picked up the Steiner Shadow Quest, and just for out of interest, pure curiosity, I wanted to see what can I get out of China that I could compare it to. And I found an 8x56. It's a no name. It's waterproof. Let's see what we got here. 320 feet at 1,000 yards, fully multi-coated BAK4 prisms, or whatever the Chinese equivalent is to that, really. I picked it up for one reason. I noticed the physical similarity as far as the central diopter ring here, right behind the central focus wheel. And I recognize that structurally, body structure, it appears to be the same as the Bar and Stroud Savannah. And I can't prove it. Not interested in proving it, really. It's just, it's not that far of a reach to imagine that Bar and Stroud has contracted whatever company made this to make theirs as well. It is not using ED lenses, but it's nothing if you're contracted to drop ED lenses into essentially the same body. And it was, it gave me enough hope. If a name like Bar and Stroud's out there trying to do something with this basic design, maybe I'll get lucky. So I picked it up, and first the physicals. The thing's heavy. The eyepiece protectors, the rain guard, fits very snugly. It's never gonna fall off on you. I mean, that's really gonna have to wear. The eye cups, not the greatest, and in fact, not too difficult for them to lose their position. We got, let's see what we got. 1, 2, yeah, 3 positions total. Yeah, they don't really hold very well. Essentially, unless you're really pressing in on them, they'll stay where they belong, but no great shakes there. Your covers for your objectives, standard rubber band outer, it works, fits fine. Coatings, judge for yourself. I'm trying to see myself here. Essentially nice, clear. I didn't see any specks or anything inside. Generally a good structure. Feels good. It's got a rubberized skin. Feels well in the hand. Do not like the arrangement. In the end, I discovered I don't like this arrangement for the diopter. There's a tendency, it's so far where your hand's holding it and you're getting a good balance. It's so far back that you go to find something with your finger, and the first thing you're going to start messing with is your diopter. Unless you're really aware of what you're doing, you'll mess with that before you realize that, oh, I really should be putting my finger much further back to get to the central wheel. Definitely got the, boy, there's a lot of light reflections in this thing. Took it out, did the 1951, and it's not so great, folks. This thing is essentially about $100, and you're only getting $100 worth of optics out of it. Perfectly good, perfectly sharp for just general use. But you put it against any other 8x56, like the Steiner, and it's definitely lagging behind. It was lagging behind by a full element. While the Steiner will do group -1 element 2, this thing just managed group -1 element 1 and really didn't reach out from that point. I did starlight testing with it, and bad image. When you really get into that point of light, it's it's just a smear. They're not sharp. And when I did a evening test against the Steiner to check brightness, well, the Steiner was it's a world of its own by comparison. I mean, you definitely are not you're not making out like a bandit with this thing. Getting even close to the big money binocular. I was kind of hoping that I could cheat once more. I've had a lot of luck in that direction, but not this time. Yeah, what I wound up doing was getting out the little 8x42s, if you're wondering why they're out here. The Seiko zooms are very bright. I figured, well, let's drag out the little 8x42, and I stayed up and kept watching our local, I believe it's a microwave tower, get darker and darker and darker. And it didn't matter how late it got. It just didn't matter. The target appeared just as visible, just as bright with the 8x42 as it did with this. And this thing is so heavy by comparison. You will definitely not want to be wearing this around your neck. If it bought you a brighter image, then yeah, okay, for astronomical purposes maybe. But it doesn't, and it doesn't give you a good image of any point of light sources out there. It just doesn't. If you see it on Alibaba, like I say, there's no actual name. They make these things in the hopes that you will make a contract with them and put your own name on them. That may be what Barr and Stroud did, but avoid it. Not worth it. Just kind of a warning. If you want something good that's just as bright as these, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm shilling for them. I almost sound like I'm shilling for them, I admit. But the Seiko Zoom outfit, for the money, really put out the fine stuff. And you probably want to check that out instead. Just wanted to warn you guys. That's it. And I'm going to leave it at that.